Department has recorded nearly 1,800 new COVID-19 infections. That brings the total caseload in the country to more than 511,000, some 33,000 of which are still active. 54 patients died due to the respiratory disease in the past 24 hours, pushing the death toll to above 10,000. Now, some 467,000 meanwhile have been removed from the virus sick list, with 166 new recoveries reported today. The confirmation of more than a dozen COVID-19 patients detected with the B117 variant raised suspicions of local transmission. But is there evidence supporting this? JC Cosico has the report.
The Health Department on Saturday clarified that it is still premature to say whether there's already a community transmission of the new COVID-19 variant. This came a day after the agency announced that 16 new COVID-19 patients were found to be carriers of the B117 variant. Of these, 14 were local cases, 12 of which are from Bontoc Mountain Province. This brings the total number of patients in the country with a new variant to 17. The Health Department said it is still investigating the possible source of the infection, as well as the travel histories of the 14 local cases. Up to the third-generation contacts of the patients are also being traced. In an online press briefing, Dr. Celia Carlos, director of the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, or RITM, cited the World Health Organization's definition for establishing community transmission.
Any of the following three should be present. First, large numbers of cases which are not linkable through transmission chains. Number two, large numbers of cases from sentinel sites if there is an existing surveillance. And number three, multiple unrelated clusters in several areas of the country.
DOH Technical Advisory Group member Dr. Edsel Salvana also agreed that the local transmission of the new variant cannot be determined yet.
Right now, there's no evidence of that dahil meron po tayong isang cluster lang na alam naman po natin na magkaka-related sila. And then, we have to find where that person, yung siguro kung ano yung common source nun. And then the others, mukhang wala namang onward transmission.
Reacting to reports that the UK variant is more deadly, Salvana said this data is only preliminary, as studies are still ongoing.
The original data po kasi wala talagang evidence na it's deadlier, pero may mga karagdagang pag-aaral na ginawa sila that suggests na baka maybe 30% more deadly. So pinag-aaralan pa po ito, hindi pa po siya final.
This echoes the statement of DOH TAG member Dr. Marisa Alejandria, who notes that there are several factors affecting mortality.
When we talk about factors affecting mortality, it is not just about the virus. It is also about the characteristics of the patients. As mentioned, the older you are, the higher the risk of dying, the presence of comorbid conditions or yung mga ibang sakit.
Meanwhile, regional health officials said they might recommend placing the Cordillera region under general community quarantine should their healthcare utilization rate increase. According to DOH CAR Director Dr. Ruby Constantino, they may soon have to treat patients in hotels to decongest their hospitals.
Our facilities are almost fully occupied, so that's the danger. So we have to really move our asymptomatic patients.
For now, local government units are reminded to ensure strict monitoring and compliance to quarantine protocols. Health officials are also reiterating their call on the public to follow minimum health standards to control the spread of the virus. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
The municipality of Bontoc in Mountain Province is ramping up efforts to control the spread of the B117 COVID-19 variant. Speaking to us this afternoon, Claire Peel, Operations Officer of the Bontoc LGU, said Mayor Franklin Odsi will place 3 more barangays under a 14-day lockdown. This is aside from the 2 barangays in the municipality already under a 2-week quarantine, where the 12 patients found with the virus variant reside.
The mayor will be issuing today the extension of the lockdown of the other 3 central barangays. We also intensified our policies and its implementation in partnership with our local PNP and barangay officials to minimize especially gatherings and movements.
Now, Peel said 6 patients have already been released from the hospital while 3 are isolating in their homes. The remaining 3 are still undergoing treatment, one of whom is now in severe condition. The local official warns that the new variant spreads more rapidly after exposure.
It can affect the whole household very quickly. We also observed that the infection stays quite longer compared to the other COVID patients.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Contact tracing czar and Baguio Mayor Benjamin Magalong calls on LGUs to utilize the PNP in their contact tracing efforts. Magalong believes the police are assets to contact tracing, but he notes that some local governments are rejecting their help. The contact tracing czar also noted that tracing and testing efforts have become inconsistent in LGUs. Magalong also slammed some local officials for supposedly projecting a well-managed COVID situation in their areas to position themselves for the 2022 elections.
Ang nangyayari ngayon, LGUs tend to portray a very good COVID-19 situation in their area. So ang tendency nun is to lower their contact tracing and at the same time lower their testing. Binobola lang natin ang sarili natin. We are lying to the public. With that kind of attitude, we will not be able to manage properly our situation in this country.
13 people died in an armed encounter at Barangay Limbo, Sultan Kudarat this morning. One of these fatalities was a police officer. Now, initial reports state that the clash started at 3 in the morning after police authorities served a warrant for the arrest of former barangay chairman Datu Adsis Talusan and some of his followers. The warrant was supposedly in connection with their involvement in heinous crimes. Talusan and his companions reportedly resisted arrest, resulting to the gunfight which lasted until 9 in the morning. Now, as for the weather, the tail end of a frontal system is now affecting the eastern section of northern Luzon. Pagasa says it may bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over the regions of Cagayan, Cordillera, and Ilocos. Residents living in the affected areas are warned against possible flash floods or landslides due to moderate with at times heavy rains. Metro Manila and the rest of the country, meanwhile, may experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers due to localized thunderstorms. And here are other stories from around the globe. China reports a slight increase in new cases of COVID-19 as it marks the anniversary of the world's first COVID-19 lockdown. The country's National Health Commission said 107 new COVID-19 cases have been identified, 90 of which were local infections. Beijing and Shanghai have launched mass COVID-19 testing in some areas as China faces its worst COVID-19 outbreak since March. The WHO said it has reached an agreement with Pfizer for 40 million doses of its COVID-19 vaccine. The new agreement will allow vaccinations in poor and lower middle income countries to start as early as next month under the COVAX program. Adding to that, the WHO is also awaiting approval for the distribution of 150 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine also within the first quarter.
COVAX is on track to deliver 2 billion doses by the end of this year.
Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.